All right, in this video, I'm going to show you, we're going to go over the rules for going off campus, like Habitat, because we've been going over there for a while and any time in the future. So I need to explain kind of what I expect out of you going over there from the back, all of that. So these are the tool bags and boxes that we take with us to Habitat. There are, all right, there are 4 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, and then this is all one, so there's 4, okay? The first one is the small DeWalt bag. All right, the small DeWalt bag has got DeWalt batteries in it. All right, we're gonna take the batteries. We've taken the power tools before. I've had students forget the batteries, and whenever they forget the batteries, we don't have anything to power the tools with. So right behind you is the charger. If it is your job or your tool equipment day, grab some batteries off the chargers or from down here. All right, put them in the bag. You're gonna want several of each, 12 volt and 20 volt. So here's some 12 volts and 20 volt, all right? So I typically take, 6, 7 with us, 8 batteries, and take those with us. So the small bag, got batteries in it. White bag, all right, the white bag, we're gonna be doing some steps at Habitat before too long, so I took a frame square. Typically, this is not in here, all right, but in the white bag. In the center, right here in the center part, hammers, nothing but hammers, all right? Side pocket over here, all right, cat's paw, pry bar, 2 tape measures, and there's a whole thing of pencils in here. So pencils, flat pry bar, cat's paw, and there are 2 little tape measures in here. You really need to bring your own tape measure, all right? These are just in case you forgot or we need an extra. Left side pocket. All right, side pocket on the white bag, speed squares, so there's 4 of them, and there's a whole bunch of used Sawzall blades. Okay, so with Sawzall blades and speed squares there. So hammers, pry bar, cat's paw, speed squares, and reciprocate Sawzall blades. All right, move that over there. This larger DeWalt bag here, all right, I put larger power tools in. Right now, we've got a jigsaw in there. Typically, I don't take a jigsaw, but we need it for the laminate floor that we're laying. There's a circular saw in here. There's a thing of drill bits, all right? And there's 2 jars of screws, all right? So screws here, screws here. 2 jars of screws, and there's a small flashlight in here. This is like if we need to crawl in a crawl space or something like that. We got some light. So put those back in there. And this part right here, so I've got this up on the table. Typically, I don't set this on the table. This has little latches. These lock together. If you take these latches off, all right, this one apart. Typically, I leave this always one unit here. These 2 will come apart as well. And the top of, so I call this the top, I call this the middle, I call this the bottom. So in this top section is small hand tools. You've got coping saw, chalk line, snips, pliers, torpedo level, more pliers, drill bits, 1 tape measure. All right, so little small hand tools go in the top of this. These 2 drawers, there are 2 drawers here, all right? There's a latch under here you gotta pull. I've had a lot of kids, they pull on it and nothing happens. That's because you gotta pull this latch, all right? All of this in here is labeled, tells you what it is. We got 2.5-inch screws, we got square bits, we got Torx, T25 Torx bits. If you will keep everything separated out the way that it's supposed to be separated out, it's a lot easier to find stuff. If all of this gets mixed up and jumbled up, it takes you longer to find stuff, it takes us longer to get stuff done, and it's just aggravating, all right? This top drawer here, we've got some countersink bits, roofing nails, drywall screws. Now, most of the time when we go to Habitat, they have fasteners for us over there, but sometimes they will run out or they're hard to get to in their trailer or something like that. So we will just use our own, if we're gonna just use a few of them. If there's a whole bunch of something that we're gonna have to, like let's say that we're gonna use a whole box of something, we're not gonna use our stuff. We're gonna use their fasteners, all right? So some of these gotten, all right, the other thing that you want to make sure that you don't do, you do not want to, you want to make sure that these are latched and this is latched, all right? I've had kids before this was open, they picked it up, drawer slides out, everything falls out. If everything falls out of here, if you're the one to do that, you're the one to get that gets to separate everything back out. All right. So just keep that in mind whenever we're doing stuff. All right. So fasteners, small hand tools. This middle section, all right, is where we keep drills. All right. This little handle slides down. This thing rolls. It's got 2 wheels on it. All right. Drills in here. All right. Drills, more drills. So basically just full of drills. Take the batteries out of the drills, put them in the bag. That way we can put the drills on the charger when we get back. And also take the bits out. Somebody's left bits in. All right. Now this little oscillating multi-tool, this actually goes in the bottom end here. Somebody's misplaced it. All right. So another drill bit. I like to keep those in the thing. That way I know where everything is at. We don't have to worry. All right. So whenever you put all this up, just go in there, latch it back, and pick it up. To unlock it, you can unlatch it here, right there. Our bits back. That is a Phillips. It's there. Phillips. In here, the bottom section, we keep large power tools. Circular saw, multi-tool, drywall cutout, reciprocating saw. There's one small jar of screws down here as well. So we will keep all of that in here. All right. Latch that back. And latch it back. All right. So tool-wise, that's where everything goes. Now, right now, we're in COVID protocols, meaning I don't have enough kids to give everybody a tool job. So I used to give a day of the week. So I would give 4 kids, you guys have Monday, and you guys got Tuesday, and you guys have Wednesday. So it'll be your day for tools. Right now, I'm not doing it. But if we ever get back to that, it's your job to get the tools on the bus. From here and off the bus once we get to Habitat. Vice versa, if we're leaving Habitat, you get the tools on the back of the bus. All right, we're gonna go over a few rules real fast. I got a whole sheet here. Take care of the seats on the bus. That bus is ours. Right now it's getting painted, but make sure that you take care of the bus and poke any holes in the seats. Don't walk on it with your shoes. Don't walk on the seats or anything like that. Take care of the bus. Tools go on the back of the bus, not in the seats. All right, this bag, especially right here, where any of these other bags, they got sharp objects poking out of them, they puncture the seats. John McCurdy at Bus Garage, he does not like that. He fusses at us, and they don't have to give us a bus. So make sure you take care of the bus. You get on and off the front of the bus. Here's why. It's got air brakes. And if we're at Habitat, at least for right now, a lot of times we park on an incline, okay? When you park on that incline, I have to set the brakes. Well, let's say that the brakes go out, or I forget to set the brakes, or whatever the case might be, and you get off the back of the bus. The bus rolls backwards and the bus rolls over top of you. And if I didn't know that you get off the back of the bus, all right, then you end up getting run over by the bus. So you get off the front of the bus, all right? Trash, make sure that you pick your trash up off the bus. Carry it in here, throw it in the trash can, or while we're out on whatever job site we're on, throw it away out there. If you got mud on your shoes, a lot of times we're working the mud out there, you guys have to change shoes. Wipe the mud off if we're at Habitat and the grass. Don't do it on the road. Nobody likes to see 100 muddy footprints down their road. All right, and don't wipe them off out here on this white concrete outside. If you would do it in my shop, not in the classroom area, but in my shop, I can actually just sweep it up, throw it in the trash can over there, and throw it away. All right, if we drive through town to get to Habitat, if anybody's walking along the sides of the roads, do not yell at them. Right? Don't say anything to them. And even if you're just saying, hey, or you're yelling at them, whatever, they may misinterpret whatever you say to them and think that you're saying something inappropriate. And then they call the high school and say, hey, I just had an activity bus go by me and these kids were yelling yada, yada, yada at me. All right? So that keeps us from being able to go back to Habitat. So don't yell anything at anybody going down the road. If you are late, meaning that we've already gotten on the bus, we've already left, and you're here, you need to go to ISS. Tell the ISS instructor that you're not in trouble, that you just need somewhere that you have to be supervised. Do not sit in here by yourself. All right? So if you're late, you go to ISS. You don't sit in here by yourself. I've got to have somebody watching over you while you're there. You cannot drive to Habitat or the house project if you're late. All right, this is a liability issue if you end up wrecking or something like that. So you cannot drive over there. If you end up missing the bus, you go to ISS. Tool responsibilities already talked about. Everyone helps get the toolbox. So there's this big draw for whatever reason. Everybody was sitting on the back of the bus. That part I understand, but you can't go anywhere until I get on the bus or whoever's driving gets on the bus, right? So everybody helps get tools back in the boxes, all right? Everybody helps tools get the batteries in the bag, the tools in the bags, and back in the boxes, the bits up. Everybody helps do that. And if it's your specific tool day, meaning Monday, Tuesday, whatever, all right, then you get them on the bus and off the bus. But everybody helps get them back in the bag. And there's no rush to do this because you can't go anywhere until until I'm on the bus driving anyways. You're gonna need old shoes. All right, I've got old shoes over there, but you can put them in a locker, but you're gonna need old shoes. It's muddy a lot of times over there. We work outside. You're gonna need pencil, tape measure, and safety glasses every day. All right, you've gotta have a pencil. You've gotta be able to mark wood. We're constantly measuring and marking something over there. You've gotta have a tape measure. You can't measure without obviously having one. And safety glasses, we're constantly cutting something over there. All right, your participation grade. So you get a grade when we go off campus for how well you work. And this is not I throw everybody 100 kind of grade. This is did you actually work? Did you actually get anything done? Did you help out? Were you paying attention? What was your attitude like? Were you willing to do stuff, or was I having to talk you into it? All right, so your participation grade, depending on how many days we go. Right now we're going 2 days a week, so that's 50 points a day. If you miss one of those days, you need to request an alternative assignment for me so that you can get your points back, all right? And let's say right now classes are pretty small, so I can come up with jobs for everybody to do. But if whenever I take larger classes over there, if I don't have a job for everybody, all right, sometimes paying attention is the best thing that you can do. Not hanging out with your buddies, talking about what deer you're gonna kill or this or that, all right? Not, y'all punching each other in the arm and acting dumb. This is the best thing that you can do sometimes is just pay attention to whatever I'm doing or whatever your other classmates are doing. That way you actually learn something. So you learn by watching, all right? If you've ever helped your dad or your grandpa or somebody, do something at your house, most of the time you had to watch them first, and then they give you a chance to replicate whatever you just watched them do, all right? Lastly, be respectful of the people that work at Habitat, the guys that are over there. If they tell you to do something, that's just like me telling you to do something, in my opinion. And last but not least, don't touch anything. All right, don't touch road signs. Don't touch anything that's not yours that you're not supposed to touch. If it even seems remotely questionable, all right, don't touch it.
What's up? I didn't know if you were video.
Well, I wasn't, and then